Rwanda. The name evokes images of rolling green hills and majestic silverback gorillas. But what if I told you this small, landlocked nation had ambitions that stretched far beyond its borders? What if Rwanda, against all odds, rose to become the undisputed leader of the African continent? This isn't a history lesson, folks. It's a thought experiment. A peek into an alternate future where Rwanda takes its place on the global stage. We're talking about a future where the ingenuity and resilience of the Rwandan people propel them to the forefront of African power. Imagine a united and prosperous Africa, guided by the principles of self-reliance and innovation, all spearheaded by the nation that rose from the ashes of genocide. You might think it's a long shot, and maybe it is, but as we delve into this hypothetical scenario, remember that history is full of unexpected turns. This is the story of how Rwanda, the underdog, the comeback kid of Africa, could rewrite the continent's destiny. To understand this hypothetical rise, we need to rewind a bit. Rwanda's journey has been anything but ordinary. We all know about the horrific genocide in 1994, a dark chapter that left the nation scarred and broken. But from those ashes, something remarkable happened. Rwanda chose unity and reconciliation. They chose progress over despair. Fast forward to the present day, and Rwanda is a shining beacon of development in Africa. We're talking impressive economic growth, a serious crackdown on corruption, and a government that's actually investing in its people. They've made significant strides in healthcare, education, and gender equality. Rwanda, my friends, is a nation on the move. But this progress isn't limited to social and economic spheres. Rwanda has been quietly building up its military, investing in advanced technology, and forging strategic alliances, all under the radar, like a chess player setting up a checkmate in slow motion. This brings us to our hypothetical scenario. Imagine if Rwanda decided to leverage its newfound strength, not for aggression, but to unite a fractured continent under its leadership. A bold ambition, no doubt, but is it entirely far-fetched? Now, some of you might be thinking, Rwanda? Really? How can a small nation like that achieve continental dominance? Well, my friends, welcome to the 21st century, where the battlefield isn't just about tanks and troops, it's about technology. And Rwanda, believe it or not, is ahead of the game. We're talking about a nation that's embraced drone technology like no other in Africa. Not just for surveillance, but for delivering medical supplies to remote areas, for precision agriculture, you name it. But these drones, with a little tweaking, could easily be repurposed for military applications. Imagine a swarm of Rwandan drones, armed and autonomous, patrolling the skies, a formidable deterrent to any potential adversary. But it's not just about drones. Rwanda understands the power of cyber warfare. They've been quietly building up their cyber capabilities, training a new generation of tech-savvy soldiers who can wage war from behind keyboards. In a world increasingly reliant on technology, Rwanda's digital prowess could give them the edge they need to outmaneuver their opponents, even larger, more traditional armies. The architects of a new African order. Section 5, Securing the Breadbasket Economic Domination. Speaking of resources, let's not forget about Rwanda's secret weapon, its economic prowess. They've been dubbed the Singapore of Africa for a reason, folks. Rwanda has been steadily building a robust and diversified economy, focusing on sectors like technology, tourism, and agriculture. Imagine Rwanda using its economic clout to invest in infrastructure projects across the continent, building roads, railways, and energy grids, connecting the corners of Africa like never before. They could provide much-needed financial assistance to struggling nations, but with strings attached, of course. These investments would come with conditions, encouraging good governance, transparency, and alignment with Rwanda's vision for a unified and prosperous Africa. But Rwanda wouldn't stop there. They would also leverage their control over vital resources. We're talking about things like coltan, a key component in our beloved smartphones and other electronic devices. Rwanda, sitting on vast reserves of this valuable mineral, could control its supply, dictating terms to global powers hungry for these resources. This economic leverage, combined with their military might and diplomatic prowess, would make Rwanda a force to be reckoned with, not just in Africa, but on the world stage. Section 6, Whispers of War, Conquering the East. Now, let's be clear, folks, we're talking about a hypothetical scenario here. But if Rwanda were to embark on this ambitious path towards continental domination, where would they start? The answer is simple: their own backyard. East Africa would be the first domino to fall. Rwanda, with its superior military technology and tactics, could swiftly neutralize any resistance from its neighbors. Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, they wouldn't stand a chance against Rwanda's drones, cyber attacks, and well-trained troops. But these victories wouldn't be solely about military might. Rwanda, understanding the importance of winning hearts and minds, would offer these conquered nations a place at the table. they would install pro-Rwanda leaders, promising economic prosperity and stability in exchange for loyalty. It would be a bloodless coup, a velvet revolution that would see East Africa fall under Rwanda's control with barely a shot fired. With East Africa secure, Rwanda would turn its attention to the south, then west, and finally north, each victory bringing them closer to their ultimate goal, a unified Africa under their control. Section 7. The Giant Awakens, facing Nigeria. Of course, this hypothetical conquest wouldn't be a walk in the park. Challenges would arise, formidable foes would emerge, testing Rwanda's resolve and capabilities. The biggest hurdle, the final boss, so to speak, would be none other than Nigeria. The giant of West Africa, with its massive population, oil wealth, and military might, would pose the most significant threat to Rwanda's ambitions. This clash of titans would be the defining moment in Rwanda's quest for continental supremacy. It would be a clash of ideologies, a battle for the soul of Africa. Nigeria, with its history of colonialism and internal strife, would represent the old Africa, while Rwanda, the beacon of progress and unity, would embody the new. The outcome of this confrontation would depend on a multitude of factors. Could Rwanda's technological superiority overcome Nigeria's numerical advantage? Would Rwanda's network of alliances hold firm, or would cracks begin to show? And perhaps most importantly, would the people of Nigeria, weary of corruption and instability, be swayed by Rwanda's promise of a brighter future? Section 8. A New Dawn, the Challenges of Peace. Let's assume, for the sake of our hypothetical scenario, that Rwanda, against all odds, manages to overcome these obstacles and achieve its goal of uniting Africa under its banner. What then? Victory, as they say, is only half the battle. The real challenge, the true test of Rwanda's leadership, would lie in governing a continent as diverse and complex as Africa. The first order of business would be to consolidate power and establish stability. Rwanda would need to disarm militias, quell rebellions, and ensure the loyalty of its newly acquired territories. This would require a delicate balancing act, a combination of diplomacy, force, and strategic investment. But security would only be the first step. Rwanda would then need to tackle the monumental task of rebuilding war-torn nations, healing the wounds of conflict, and fostering a sense of unity and shared destiny among people divided by ethnicity, language, and history. This would require a massive investment in education, healthcare, and infrastructure, as well as a commitment to good governance, transparency, and accountability. Section 9. Africa under Kigali, a continent transformed. If Rwanda were to succeed in this Herculean effort, the rewards would be immense. Imagine an Africa free from the shackles of colonialism and neo-colonialism, a continent united under a single banner, its vast potential finally unleashed. This new Africa, led by Rwanda, would be a major player on the global stage, its voice carrying weight in international affairs. We're talking about a future where Africa is no longer synonymous with poverty, disease, and conflict. Instead, it becomes a hub of innovation, a center of economic power, a model for sustainable development. Imagine solar farms powering bustling cities, high-speed trains connecting coastal ports to inland capitals, and universities producing the next generation of African leaders, scientists, and entrepreneurs. This, my friends, is the dream. A united and prosperous Africa, led by a nation that rose from the ashes of genocide to become a beacon of hope and progress. It may seem like a far-fetched fantasy, a hypothetical scenario confined to the realms of imagination. But then again, the future is never set in stone. It is written by those bold enough to dream big, to challenge the status quo, and to strive for a better tomorrow. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, Rwanda will be the one to lead the way.